Right, here's the first part of the slushy bit where you can see all this water, look. Because the water's constantly running down the hill into this. Nice step on those 2 bits of wood. Launch, that's it. There's another one just down the bottom here. So you can see where the water runs down and settles at the bottom here. Right, so I'm going over towards that metal shack over there. So this path takes you all the way around, and then you go up a bit of a Z path to go up onto the top. Right. Here the swampy water, clag. Eventually it just starts to dry up again, and then we'll get more rain again, tops it up. So it's constantly swampy down there. I remember I came down here one time to do a shortcut and I couldn't get across the burn because it had been raining heavy and it was really deep and wide. I couldn't step across, so I ended up having to go across the wire fence and use the wire fence as a ladder, holding on the wire fence and stepping till I got on the other side where the debris catcher is. I had to use the debris catcher fence to get across. Which wasn't an easy task for me, like, with my balance issues. I've just thought all trouble is with me stopping recording to get up the rest of that stone track. It'll be hard for me to judge now an hour and a half on this first battery. So what I'll have to do is by the time I get down to Osby Ford Farm and start going across the wooden bridge, if it still hasn't gone off, I might just stop and put a new one in anyway, or wait until I get to near Davidson's Linn, just to make sure I've got batteries to record the waterfall when I get there. As you can see, it's all water runs downhill and settles at the bottom of the bank here. So this shortcut's okay if you got the right footwear on. But if you're coming down here in white training shoes, definitely a no-no. And just daft anyway. Right, downhill to the single gate, go through, then cross over the little burn that's coming down from up there. Comes underneath the road. I'll have to stop and have a wee when I get down to this little burn to cross over. I can hear the water running down, so it's running quite powerful because it drops down into a bit of a pool, like a 2-foot drop waterfall, just as you go through the gate. There's a gate coming up there now. So the burn comes right along here to me right. And starts heading down the valley that way towards Barrowburn. Right, so you can see the grass track that goes up, it bends round to the right, bends round to the left and gets you up on the top road again. And you can see the wooden marker post just at the bottom of that hill where the grass quad bike track's going up and over the top. That's where I'm heading to. Looks like somebody's been using a fence to go across like a bridge and it's collapsed. Could be wrong, like, but looks like the fence is just lying down. Now if you do come down here and you find you can't get over, and you could go that way and then up, because there's a single gate takes you back onto the main road up there. So you go down past this broken sheepfold. There's a track goes up alongside it. Oh yeah man, get on. That's it. Right, see if I'm gonna get across here. Oh! So this is where you normally step down because there's a bit of a concrete at the bottom on the bed and you can step on it and step over. It's here. This must have just been put here recently because it wasn't here before and it was hard to get across sometimes when it's been raining heavy. Right, so that's where the little waterfall's dropping down at that big pool, look. Just there. I'm sure if there's any minnows, fish in there now, that's where you probably see them in that big pool down there as you come through the gate. Right, step down here and start going up this long grass uphill. Right, so this is new. This concrete here wasn't here before because sometimes I struggle to get across here because it would be wide and deep, and if you slip back down in the water, like I say, you'd be down into 18 inches of water and soaking wet for the rest of the day. Right, up through this long grass, up the Z path I call it. So I've got all my little names for this journey past Bates Motel. Now, if you look where that old round homestead sheepfold is, you can see the track going up. And it bends around to the left and starts going back up to the main road. And there's a single gate that you go through so you can just get back on the road if you can't get this way. It's just a pain in the arse getting through that long grass to get up onto that track. You've got to go along the wire fence through the swamp. But with me doing videos like this, people say, oh, that's a good idea, or I'll go that way, and it creates more foot traffic, and therefore these pathways get flattened down again and worn in. So you can actually see the tracks again properly, and it's easier to walk up them. The more people that walk along here, nearly getting tripped over there, along ferns and bracken. I was going to be stopping and filming a couple of little waterfalls coming up Coker Valley, But when the battery died on my Nikon camera, that put a stop to that. And I don't want to use my GoPro 9 to film it all, because I want to get to Davidson's Linn and film that lot. The waterfall, and then going up to show you how the trees are still blocking the path from this direction. Right, so if you look across here now, if you follow that path all the way up, it takes you to that single gate there, going through the fence line and back onto the main road. Right, I'm just taking 2 minutes to get my breath because I'm knackered. That stone track coming up from the ford at Trowers to get to the top where Murder Cleugh is, bloody kills you. Right, round to the right here and up again. This is long grass and all. Easy to trip over. One foot in front of the other. Right, so here's the metal shack I was pointing at when I was over there on the road. Just as I come along to the end of the tree line before I started coming down the grass track. Right, get to here, turn left and follow the quad bike track to the main road. Turn right and drop downhill to Usway Ford Farm. The only good thing about going through that long wet grass is it wipes all the mud off your boots. Right, so if you're going up and over towards the border fence in Windy Gal, you just go off to the left there where that wooden marker post is, and go up and over the top of that hill and follow it right over to the border fence. Right, so there's Usway Ford Farm down at the bottom of the road there. It's about a mile from here, I would say, just under. Right, so that's the way you come over from Fairhoff Cottage, which is down in the dip there. So you come up from it, follow the path down through the single metal gate, and then you can just come along the side of the hill, or if you're fit, just go up and over the top of the hill and come down this double gate here. So it depends on the views you want as well. Right, so that's my first GoPro 9 battery just gone, because I'm coming up to meet the main road again after taking that shortcut across from over there at Murder Cleugh. So came across from the road, cut down over the burn and up the Z path and got on this grass track, and that's where you head for, that metal shack. And there's Clenna Street coming down, goes all the way down there, meets the wooden bridge, and it brings you up here. Right, so I'm going to continue down the stone track now. Where the tree line starts, that's where the Forestry Commission track goes in and goes right around the outside of Davidson's Linn waterfall. And that's the way I went last time I came here. It was bare. And then once I got through the double metal gate, that's when I let him up. And he walked backwards and forwards, running about and burning energy off. And then it was a bugger getting hold of him to get him back on his leader. He didn't want to go back on his leader. I was hoping by the time I got to the gate he would have stopped dead so I could grab a hold of him, but no. Every time I went near him he was off. Little shit. Right, so there's the farm. So the road goes all the way down, and just as you get past the barn at the end of it, it bends round to the right to take you down over the ford into the farm. That's why they call it Usway Ford Farm, because you go over a ford to get into the grounds. But just past the barn there's a little track takes you round to the left to go over the wooden footbridge, and that's the way I'm going for to get to Davidson's Linn waterfall. So you go over the bridge, climb over the turnstile, over the wire fence, then there's a sheep's trail. You just follow that along, all the way along to where the two burns meet. Then you've got to cross over without falling into the water, and then you go up and off to the right and follow an old grass quad bike track and follow the fence line along about 5,000 yards. Then you've got to look for there's a gap in the wire fence right at the end. You cut through that and go up off to the left and get on Salters Road, which is a stone trap like this. Then you bear left and follow it back round, and that takes you around to where you drop down to the top of Davidson Linn waterfall. Right, so let's just keep going. Right. So there's the wooden bridge that you cross over down there when you come all the way down Clenna Street. And there's a lovely waterfall just there. You can see it when you're coming down the bank. And you can see where it's zigzagging along, going along the bottom towards Fairhoff Cottage. Right. So this bit road's well beaten in because the cars that go down and go to the farm visiting. So there's always cars coming along here, flattening it and dispersing the stones off to the edges. Right, so like I say, this point in time you're going downhill, slowly but surely downhill all the way down to the farm. So when you're coming back, especially on a red hot day, it bloody kills you. There was a particular time I was coming back from Bloody Bush Edge with corn in a July, and it was absolutely scorching red hot. And by the time I came up here and started going up that grass track, I was so tired, I was shattered. I had to stop and sit down on the grass, and I pulled corn next to us and made him sit down because he was puffing and panting, poor bugger. And I kept getting him to go in every puddle, every bit of stream to keep getting drinks. It was red hot. I was exhausted, literally exhausted. So these are the kind of pulls that will get the dog to go and get a drink when it's red hot sunny and there's no water, so you've got to rely on puddles of water that's left behind that hasn't dried up for to get your dogs to get a drink. Oh, there's a car coming up there now. Right. Hiya. All right. It's funny how there's nothing and then all of a sudden loads of traffic. I love to see the collie sitting on the back of the quad bike, so they've got no fear, they're just splayed out a bit to steady themselves for all the bumps that they go over. But like I say, they're brought up from puppies, and obviously they've got them on the back of the quad bikes from being puppies, so they're used to it. No fear of speeding along. Right, so here's the Forestry Commission track going off to the left. Look, where I went up, and I went along the track for about a mile and a quarter. Oh, the gate must have been shut. Stop to open it. And he's hanging about, ready to shut it again, I think. Oh, sheep's all running towards her. Aye, so he's going to shut the gate after driving through after her. All the sheep are running down the track, look. And then going up off to the left. The dog's just jumping up the back of there. There's two dogs. He must have had one in his lap somewhere, because I only seen one dog in the back. There's two. He's just both jumped up there now. So they're going to work now for to round up the sheep probably. Right, so there's the metal gate that I went through after pulling the boat out. The dog's just running up the hill there now. I love to see them at work. I love to see them how they round them all up. It's brilliant. There's a gate there where the farmer stopped again, so he'll be stopping to close that gate after he's gone through. Probably keep the sheep in one place. Right. Over the cattle grate. I've never walked down this track for a while now, because normally I would go along that Forestry Commission track, like I say, walking about a mile and a quarter, and the two tracks that you could take to go down towards Davidson's Linn